Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. We had Izuku. We also had Jessica Drew. Deku, after the events of Civil War and the Secret Invasion, he found out that Jessica Drew was a Skrull. His entire relationship with Spider-Woman was fabricated and used as an elaborate ploy by the Skrull Queen. Now, she made Deku think that he was a Skrull. She made him think a lot. And the Skrulls even messed with his head by posing as his dead father in Himiko Toga when he went back to his home. They tried to take him down. But Deku, he began to be merciless. He fought as hard as he could, letting out his aggression, letting out his anger. Deku was pushed to his breaking point mentally. However, he was instrumental in helping New York City and the heroes with communications. And Deku, when he tried to take down the Skrull Queen, tried to get answers, Norman Osborn was the one to kill her, not him. And Deku, he made things quite clear. He does not trust Norman Osborn. And Norman Osborn, he's part of the reason why Deku has so many of these issues. Why he feels like he's a failure. Why he feels like anyone who gets close to him might die. And Deku, he walked away from being Spider-Man. He wants to give it up. He wants to make a cure to take away his own powers. He wants to make a cure to stop Kane. And then, maybe return to his life. Find out where Izuku Midoriya left his life on pause, and, well, go back to it. Let Spider-Man be the one in the background, not Izuku. And Deku, he decided to take some time off. See if this will be temporary or permanent. And right now, we do currently cut to about a year later. Izuku, he's done a lot in this time. He's gotten back to school after it was rebuilt, and he decided to do a lot. He decided just to focus on himself. I mean, he re-met Ochako, and apparently she's a reporter. That was a surprise. Now, Deku, right now, he is enjoying his day, as we do currently cut to Spider-Man. He is currently swinging through the air, and going about his routine. There's been a lot happening today. There's definitely been a lot on his mind, though. I mean, after Civil War, things are definitely weird. He was in a tight spot, and then there was the invasion. Trying to deal with that and the fallout of it, I mean, Norman Osborn controls S.H.I.E.L.D. And that is definitely not a good thing. Right now, heroes, they're still distrustful of each other. However, at least everybody, they know they're all human. That right now is the best thing. And currently as Spider-Man does go swing through the air, someone goes to ambush him. And we do actually have Morlun the Inheritor. Morlun comes flying in. Him right now grabbing Spider-Man out of the air as the two go smashing down onto the ground. Morlun smashing Spider-Man directly into a car. As he's going to bring his hand back, and Rookie slashed him across the face. And Spider-Man is going to bring his hand up, smashing Morlun directly as hard as he can in the chest. And Morlun is sent up into the air. As Spider-Man does then go to bring his hand out, shooting a web and pulling him back in, smashing him across the face of his left arm, and sending him flying as Deku. He actually is then going to turn. Him going to spin the web as Morlun, he currently does get wrapped up around a lamppost. And Deku, he does then just going to bring him his other hand, shooting out more webs. As currently Morlun, he does just sit there, frozen. And Spider-Man, he does it to walk up. Him asking Morlun, exactly why does he keep attacking him? What exactly is his problem? Spider-Man. It's been a while. Leave me alone. No. I wish to feast on you. You will be my next prey. I've already found suitable arrangements for you. What are you even talking about? You really don't understand. You are my prey. I am just one of the hunters. I see that this reality does have somebody who already chases you. How did you deal with them? Did you kill them? You shut up. Now, Spider-Man, he is going to stand there. Before Moreland, he actually has to bring his legs out and rush to get Deku. He cut the lines with his claws, and he had his hands right behind his back, where Spider-Man couldn't see them. Now, he rushes forwards, and right now as the webs do to stick to Spider-Man, Spider-Man does to bring his hands up. And Moreland, he throws his hands upwards, ripping the webs away from his fist. Him bringing his hands out and sinking his claws directly down and into Spider-Man's shoulders, as Spider-Man does go scream out in pain. For Moreland, he actually does grab onto Spider-Man's throat and going to force him down into the ground. Before, there actually is Julia. Julia right now does swing onto the scene, and she does see Spider-Man struggling. As the Angel shows, going to look down and see Moreland. Him currently attempting to feast on Spider-Man. And there actually is Spider-Man, who he goes to feel something strange. He feels like his life is being ripped from him. And Moreland, he's trying to feast. He definitely enjoys the prey. And this meal, it might not be enough. But then again, he didn't expend very much energy. And he's going to be happy to this being where Julia does fly in. Her kicking him directly across the face and sending him flying. Before she actually going to turn and ask Ben if he's okay. What the hell was that? Jesus. Was he trying to steal your soul? I don't know. But I don't feel good. Whatever that was, stay away from it. Now, while those two are currently fighting the Inheritor, we do actually cut over to the real Izuku, where right now he is getting out of classes, and he currently does get a walk down the street. He's wondering about what he should do today. I mean, call Ochako and see if he can talk to her, maybe? It's definitely been an interesting friendship. Yeah. Talk to her, maybe. I mean, technically he is the Daily Beagle's scientific consultant? Yeah, that's a weird thing to even try to explain. He tries to explain the weird shit that happens. Scientifically, or he just calls it magic. I mean, the job doesn't really pay too well, but him and her do get to spend a little bit more time together. And seeing her while she's working, it's definitely kind of a bit of a plus. But then again, everything with Jessica. The fallout after that, I mean, it's definitely a bit odd. Deku heading home. And right now, whenever Deku is going to get home, he does head back to his room. Him, currently, writing a few more things. He still has this formula. Experimental. I mean, attempting to try and use it on his DNA has had varying results. He's tried using it on his own blood, and the exposure, that's a bit harder to try and calculate. I mean, either he's not adding enough, or it's not enough. So, it's been strange. He's seen his cells actually increase. I mean, get stronger, more durable. And, well, amp up his body. He's seen what happens to those cells. But then he's also seen cells just rapidly decompose, destroy themselves. And Izuku, he's had varying success. However, there actually is today. Deku, he currently does going to put a piece of the solution into the petri dish. Him then going to wait for a second and slide it under a microscope. As he's going to look inside. Him currently going to look through the hole. As he does actually look down and see everything. He sees that the cells are still okay. He sees that they're still there. They're not decomposing, they're not being more active, they're actually becoming a bit more inert. And Deku, he actually does a turn. Him grabbing a small device as he's to pull out the petri dish. Him going to set the petri dish down and then actually going to run the device over it. He does it to run the device over the petri dish, and the device doesn't pick up any form of radiation. And Deku, he actually just won't stand up. Him actually having his chair move backwards. Before Deku, he has to stare on directly at the dish, and then look back at the solution in the test tube. It worked. It it finally worked. No way. I mean, holy shit. This is insane. Now, Deku's a bit excited. And right now, he does have a few ideas. He needs to find Kane. I mean, suit back up and search for him. That is an option. But then what? See if it works on an actual person, then himself? I mean, he can actually shit. Okay. That's definitely not okay. They're just very confused. He's wanted this for the past year. He's done better for himself as a Zuko in the past year. And right now, he has a chance to keep it that way. Take away his responsibility. Take away his burden. Properly be human again. And that right now is the biggest obstacle in Deku's way. Himself. Now, Deku, he currently does go to stand. And whenever his phone, it does start to buzz again, Deku, he has a turn. Him going to press the button and answer it. Hello? Izuku, where are you? I told you I'm not. No. What? Izuku, we need your help desperately. Jessica, what is it? It's Ben. He's fighting an inheritor. Him and Julia. Morlin? But he's dead. Apparently not. Tell him that. Ben's not in very good condition. Listen, downtown now. I'm trying to get there as soon as I can, but I don't know how much longer I can get there. Or how fast, but listen, Ben's gonna die if you don't get there. Him and Julia. That thing is not human. Just go help them. Please. Now, Deku, he does get a stand. And right now, he does get a turn and go to his closet, as you do currently have back in the battlefield. Ben and Julia have been trying their best, but this inheritor, he's gotten stronger. He's definitely improved, and they thought they were able to handle it. Deku at one point fought the inheritor, and he thought it was dead. I mean, all of them took it on, and even then, they weren't enough to overcome it. But right now, Ben, he feels weak. He feels scared. And this thing in front of him, it definitely isn't good. He can't handle this. He's not alone, but they're outnumbered, outgunned, outclassed. They're currently Ben, he does sit there, and I'm trying to get back on his feet. As right now, Julia, she goes rushing forwards, and the inheritor is going to bring his hand up. Him going to actually slash away directly at her chest. As right now, Julia, she does take a heavy blow directly to the center part of her torso. And whenever she does throw her hand down to grab at it, her going to try and close the wound, there actually is the inheritor, who does going to bring his hand up, smashing Julia directly across the face and sending her flying through the air. Her smashing into a building as she does a hit onto the ground. And right now she does go to try and get back on her feet. Her doing so and actually going to try and step forwards. As the inheritor does go to look back towards Ben, stepping forwards. And right now there is where he does bring his hand down and grab onto him, bring him back up and beginning to crush his windpipe. Before talking about it, he's been wanting to eat Spider-Man for so long. See exactly what the taste is like of this one. Every Spider-Man has a unique flavor. Did he know that? What are you talking about? Every single one of you. I've killed Spider-Man before. The totems. Do you really not know anything? Totems? Now, Deku does come swinging in, and right now there is actually where he does bring his hand up and smash Moreland directly in the side of his face. And Moreland, he actually does let go of Ben, him stumbling to the side, as right now he does actually turn and grab onto a car door, him pulling it out and going to try and slash directly at Spider-Man with it. As Deku does jump backwards, and Moreland does see both Spider-Man. As right now, he does stare on. He wants to know why he was tricked. And Deku, he does tell Moreland, sorry about that. He was taking some time off. So, how about he tries to fight an actual, well, proper battle? I mean, these two are exhausted. How about they go one-on-one? He could use the aggressive outlet. You totems are something else. Totems? That right now in Deku's mind. And Deku, he does try to think. He's heard that before, hasn't he? He was called a totem. Why does that sound so familiar? Now, right now Moreland, he is to rush forwards. And Deku, he does to bring up his hand, shooting out his organic webs, as right now he does to rush forwards. And Moreland, whenever he does to try and bring his hands up to try and catch the webs, there's where Deku, he shot out a taser web, and then an explosive web. Moreland going to try and slash at one of them as the regular web grenade goes to explode. And right now there is where the other one does a smash directly into Moreland's head, and Deku is going to rush forwards. Him bringing his hands up, smashing Moreland with all the might he can. And right now the two, they begin their battle. As Ben, he tries to get back on his feet. And right now Julia, she tried to web up her own wounds, try and keep the blood inside her body, not on the outside. Now, Deku and Moreland do currently begin their battle. And Moreland, he shows exactly how much more he's improved. However, Izuku, he shows his improvements as well. He might be a little rusty, but there's one thing that Spider-Man has that Moreland doesn't. A reason to be angry. A reason to fight. And right now, Deku, he puts everything he can into this. And Moreland's quite shocked. As right now we do actually have Deku. He sends Moreland flying with a punch. And Moreland, where he is sent flying, he has to land onto the ground and stop. Him leaping back forwards with all his might on all fours. And Deku is going to bring his leg up. Him going to actually throw his leg outwards to kick directly at Moreland. And Moreland does a dodge to the right, and then actually throw his body up. Him going to actually reach his hand out and grab directly for Spider-Man's throat. But Deku does a grab onto the man's wrist, and then going to actually smash his arm outwards directly into the man's forearm. Him breaking Moreland's arm, as Deku, he does actually then going to turn and throw his fist out directly at Moreland's throat. And Moreland, he actually struck in the throat. Before he does get stumble backwards, Deku bring up his hand and blasting his webs directly out towards Moreland's head. And Moreland does try to dodge. He dodges one, he dodges two, but the third one actually hits him on the side of the face, covering his ear. And whenever that is actually happening, he's going to turn his head as Deku, he actually does to readjust, firing out two more webs. And Moreland, he struck directly in the face. Him bringing his hands out and trying to claw at it. However, Deku, he does a rush forwards. Him going to throw out more webs and actually shoot Moreland. As he does to rush at him, Moreland's body and torso, they have whips on them. And Deku, he does move forwards fast. Him grabbing onto Moreland and actually going to rush over. Him smashing Moreland directly into a truck. Before, he actually does grab at a sharp piece of metal. Him bringing it up and going to stab it downwards into Moreland's chest. And right now Moreland, he actually does scream out. As there is where he does get to actually bring his hands up, smashing Spider-Man directly in the head. And Deku isn't flying backwards. Now, Deku can feel his ears ringing. And right now, he does get to think back to Civil War, or the Secret Invasion. He thinks about how much time has passed. He thinks about a lot. And right now Deku, when he does get back on his feet, he has to turn back to Moreland. And Moreland, he does it to pull off the web covering his mouth. As he does it to tell Spider-Man. The totems in this universe seem to be very, very stubborn. But then again, that stubbornness only provides them a better challenge. He wants to see how aggressive he can be. How much this Spider-Man has changed. He's already killed many of him. And Deku just stare at Moreland. As the man continues his rambling, he sounds insane. He sounds crazy. And right now their actions where Deku, he has to watch Moreland bring his hand up and grab the piece of metal and pull it out from his chest. I'm going to get ready. Spider-Man wanted to use a weapon to kill him. So, he'll return that in kind. Now, Moreland does stand there. And right now there actually is Jessica Drew, who she does land on the truck and then to get ready. As right now she doesn't actually throw out her hands. And Moreland, he does still have his attention on Deku. And Deku, he does actually throw his hands upwards and shoot out webs at Moreland. And the moment Moreland does try to attack, he does actually get struck in the back. As Jessica, she threw out her webs and reached out for his hands. And right now Moreland, he does get struck by both of the webs. Him being covered in them, as Deku, he actually does a rush forwards. He's not having any more of this. Moreland is too much of a threat. And Deku, whenever he does actually get a rush forwards, he does get a grab directly onto Moreland's head. Him grabbing Moreland by the throat and actually forcing him down into the ground. As Deku just does a squeeze with all his might. And Moreland, he is still trapped by the webs. And Jessica does get to see Deku. Deku, he squeezes the life out of Moreland. And whenever everything is said and done, Deku, he cracks the man's neck. Now, Jessica does get to watch Deku, who does actually stand back up and stare down at the body. Before he does it, wait. Him actually going to reach down and grab the piece of metal Moreland had. Before Deku, he goes to throw it directly down into Moreland's heart, just as a good measure. Moreland came back. He destroyed the man's heart, but he came back. That should not have been possible. And right now Izuku, he has 2 different safety measures to make sure that this man is dead. And one of them, he just used. Now, Deku, he actually does nothing to turn. And whenever he does look at Jessica, he does just go to someone to look away. Him going to walk back over and see if Ben and Julia are okay. And right now the two, they were happy he arrived. But Ben, he's not in good condition. Something is wrong with him now. And that definitely does say a lot. Ben needs some recovery. However, his powers, they're also acting up now. Whatever Moreland did, whatever he tried to do, it wasn't good. And that does say quite a bit. As right now Deku, he does head back into hiding. And Ben, he does actually get medical treatment. Now, Deku, he does try to at least bring a few things up whenever Ben and Julia do come by later. He talks about a lot. He definitely has a lot on his mind. But then there's also those things that they said to him. Being a spider totem. Being, what was it? A Spider-Man and him defeating other Spider-Men. But that phrase, that word, spider totem, that means something. He's heard that before. Where has he heard that? It doesn't make sense. And the other two are very confused. However, Ben is still in bad shape. And Julia, she actually is a bit more worried about him now. I mean, yes, trying to find out where a spider totem came from is important. But trying to make sure that he's also going to be alive to know what is important is also good. And right now, Ben, he does get taken back to his own place, where he can recover properly. And there actually is Julia. Julia stayed with him, just in case he needed help, just in case anything bad may happen. Right now with Moreland's return, and his supposed second death, they need to be on guard. People know that Spider-Man, he made a return. However, is this return going to be permanent? And that was the question on both Julia and Jessica's mind. But Deku, he wasn't sure. He needed time to figure a few things out. And whenever Deku walked back into his room, he actually sat down on his chair. Him going to turn and actually reach his hand out for the vial. He has 2 of them. And right now, he has to grab onto the cure. The cure for Spider-Man. The cure for these powers. And Deku does just stare at it. It concerns him. Before Deku, he actually has to focus on something on his desk. He was trying to look for his web shooters earlier, but he couldn't find them. Ironic. But then there's that letter. The torn open envelope. And Deku, he has to reach his hand out and grab onto it. And I'm going to put the cure back down before he does to open it up. And he is going to read back the letter from Ezekiel Sims. It talks about a spider totem. This is where he heard it from. But then Deku, he doesn't read the rest. He needs to understand Morlun is a great, great evil. Whatever he is able to traverse dimensions. And Deku is going to read that. Before he does continue on, he's tried to battle against the Inheritor before. He has been successful, and he's also had failures. If Izuku is reading this, then that means he's gone after the Inheritor again. And if the Inheritor has returned, he failed. He needs to understand. Open the envelope once he's killed the Inheritor, and he knows for sure they're dead. The existence of Spider-Man and Spider-Man everywhere may very well depend on it. And Deku just does stare at that a bit confused. Spider-Man everywhere. Before Deku, he actually reached down to the envelope. Him pulling out another envelope, and then going to open up the smaller one. I'm going to pull out the piece of paper. And Deku is just going to read it. It's an address, and these numbers. What do they mean? Well, this looks like a job for Spider-Man. Deku is just going to stand. And right now, he has to head out. He remembers this letter a bit more, but it's talking about something. I mean, he heads here to find what? A device? Something to increase his power? I mean, a suit of armor maybe, as cool as that might be. Okay, but what next? They're gonna land at the location. And right now, he has to head inside. Before, after a bit of searching, he eventually does find something. A keypad. Old and covered in dust. And Deku, he has to bring his hand out. Pressing onto the buttons, he enters the code 6160000. And then the door does it unlock. And Deku, he actually does pull it open. As Ray does to walk inside, he sees a set of stairs. Him heading down. And Deku, he does then go to enter another code. Him entering it, and then the door does it open. Before somebody, they were relaxing. They were enjoying their confinement, and they were hoping one day that Morlun, he could be defeated. But now that day finally came, because the door, they hear it unlock. And right now they do just don't sit up. Then I'm going to turn. As Deku does walk inside the room, and it's an apartment. What the hell is this place? Who's there? Deku gonna turn. And right now a woman is gonna jump up and directly stare at Deku. Her gonna bring up her hand and tell him, "Stay back." He's Izuku? You know who I am? You're Spider-Man. I'm sorry. Who are you? Oh, um, well, you don't remember me. Should I? Never mind. Okay. Here's the best way to explain it. You remember that field trip all those years ago? Um, I think 7 now? No, no. It's almost been 4 years since that. Then, who are you? The name is Cindy. Cindy. Cindy Moon? We're gonna bring her hand out and shoot out a web. Whenever it doesn't hit the wall, Deku does a turn back. And she goes to talk about it. She remembers that he was bitten by the spider. It bit him on the neck, but then it jumped to her. And it bit her on the arm. No way. Wait, I do remember you. You do? Yeah, along with Mineta. I mean, that, that's a long story. He was the 1,000, wasn't he? You know about that. I do. Yeah. But why are you here? What about Moreland? Where's Ezekiel? Um, I'm sorry. He's dead. What? It's a lot to explain. Listen, he gave me a letter. He said that Moreland, he's going after him. If he pops up again, he's failed. So why are you here then? You're endangering all of us. Both of us. Don't you understand what's wrong? What are you talking about? Ezekiel never told you about it? I've never even met Ezekiel. Oh my god, you fucking killed us all. What are you talking about? Moreland, if he finds us, he's dead. What? He's dead. Wait. He he's gone. Yeah. Uh are you okay? How Holy shit. How long has he been dead? I just killed him today. Uh, But that means yeah. Yeah. I I'm free. Now, Deku, he actually has a watch. Right now she does get a bit excited. She smiles and she throws her hands up. And right now she has to actually turn and run directly past Deku. I'm a bit more surprised at her speed. As right now she has to run up the staircase and out of the door. Her heading back into the world. Now, Deku does a turn and run after her. And right now he actually is a bit more surprised. She ran right out that door and swung. She went on her own adventure. And Deku was there to chase after her. And right now Deku, he actually went swinging after her. Right now she's swinging around the city in shorts and a tank top. And that really isn't a good combination. And right now Deku, while he is actually trying to chase her and get her to explain a few things, there's the fact that he does talk about the majority of the problem. And right now Cindy, whenever she does it onto a rooftop, she goes to bring her hands out, her shooting out webs on her own body, before making herself a makeshift mask and suit. And right now she talks about it. She's happy to be back in the world. She's happy to be back outside. Fresh air, I mean, oh my god. She knows this one place and she really wants to go back to it. Is it still there? She needs to find her parents. I mean, this is all insane. And she has a turn. Her about to leave. As Deku, he is going to finally stop her, telling her he wants an explanation. Hmm? What? An explanation. Why were you down there? I mean, you said you spent almost 4 years down there. I did. But no, I need to find my parents. No, hang on a sec. What? What is going on? Okay. Fine. We'll talk about this in a sec. Just let me go find my parents, please. Okay. Deku letting her go. And right now she's gonna head off. And Deku doesn't give chase. She's definitely skilled, but he can see how she's a bit of an amateur. I mean, swinging around the city, it's definitely intriguing, but Cindy is cute. Uh, what's going on with his head? It's weird. He knows that she's human. He knows that she was exposed to the same spider as him. And well, I mean, she's a cute girl, but eh, no. These thoughts in his head are stupid. Just ignore them, Mizuku. Now, Cindy headed back to her home. She found nobody, and she even tried to look around. There was nothing. No, nothing from her past is the same after all these years. And right now, Deku, were we to go to land, he actually asked her if she was okay. And she got a bit angry. She wanted to know where her parents were. But most importantly, she wanted to know how Deku killed Morlun. And Deku, he was going to bring it up. Well, I mean, technically he's killed him twice. What? You, you, hey, there was a body this time. I mean, well, I think Shield cleaned it up again, but again? I'm sorry, you've killed him twice? How do you know he's dead this time then? Do you have any idea what you've done? Now, Cindy gets defensive, and Deku does gotta bring up his hands. As right now she's yelling at him, going off on him. She's about to attack him. At least that's what Deku does think. Before right now, Cindy, she actually had to throw herself at Deku and grab him. Before she was actually gonna bring her head in, and surprisingly, she kisses him. And Deku, he's caught off guard. He's. Whoa. Now, Deku brings his hands out, grabbing onto Cindy and actually gonna pull her away. Before he does try to tell her, what the hell is she doing? Uh, sorry, I don't. I just. It's weird and. Okay. Hey, listen, I'm willing to overlook that, but you need to get caught up on a lot, and if you like me that way, I mean, we can talk about things and get a few things sorted out, but you can explain to me what the hell's going on, and we can take things, I think, slow, I guess. Now, cut to about an hour later, where Deku and Cindy, they lie in his bed. And Deku, yeah, slow wasn't the exact word he'd use for that. And that means quite a bit. As Deku, he tries to talk about it, going to sit up. That, that definitely wasn't what he expected today. Uh, yeah, you and me both. I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't either. That's so strange. Why can't these thoughts get out of my head? Okay. He either needs a cold shower or to head out for a second and get away from her. No. Would that be bad though? I mean, no, he'll be fine. He'll be okay. Now, Deku he does a turn. Him climbing out of bed and actually gonna put back on his spider suit. And Cindy does gonna sit up, asking him if he's going somewhere. Hmm? Yeah. I need to clear my head. Listen, I I might just go out and swing around for a second, and I heard you quit. Huh? You quit, right? Being a superhero? I thought about it. Why? A number of reasons. I just. Deku turning around and sitting on his bed. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Deal with what? Everything. I mean, don't get me wrong. Being a hero is cool and all, but sometimes there's too much. I was an outlaw. Then I fought aliens. Then, glossing over that. Then now. I thought I had my life back on track. I thought everything was getting better. But, apparently it is. I just. I don't know what happens if I put this mask back on and head out there. I still have Craven to worry about. I still have Dr. Octopus, and I still have Kane. Who's Kane? He's an evil clone. Oh. Yeah, my life is crazy. Uh, I don't want you to be dragged into all this and. And what? And get hurt. You're super. You. You should be okay. Are you okay? Yeah, Yeah, sorry, it's just there's a lot rushing through my head at once, and I'm trying to keep my mind clear. Okay? So, what? I don't know. I just gotta think, I guess. You could just join me back here. I can't. What? I need to head out there. Her actually somewhat going to move over, grabbing Doki onto Deku's shoulder, and Deku does a turn back to face her. You know, responsibility is challenging sometimes. I know. Listen, it's just this is good. I like this. And I don't know if it's my head or just what is going on, but I feel like it's gonna end badly. Why? Because it always does. Izuku, I'll be okay. I can't know that for sure. You can, because I'll give you my reassurance. It's alright. I'm not gonna get hurt. Spider sense. Yeah, yeah, maybe. Maybe. Are you alright? No, no. I'm really not. I've tried keeping it together. I've tried staying. It just. No. Cindy does get to see it. There it is. Izuku Midoriya. Right now, Deku, he starts to think about a lot. His feelings about Jessica Drew, his feelings about the scroll that took her place, and his feelings about Spider-Man. He loves the powers but hates the responsibility. And Deku, he finally does one thing he should have done a long time ago. He lets it out. He lets his feelings be known. He tries to talk about it. He doesn't want his mom to be hurt, killed. She's the only family he has left. And then there's the clones. I mean, Ben's getting worse. And Julia, she's still okay, but he doesn't know how long this will last. Jessica's alive, yes, but him and her are still just friends. He has feelings in his head he doesn't know anything about. He's confused, he's scared, and hell, he just doesn't understand anything about the world, apparently. And right now, Deku, he starts to cry, as Cindy doesn't hold on to him. She tries to tell him, it's gonna be okay. It'll work out. Things will be fine. I mean, just fall apart. She's here. And she'll put the pieces back together for him. And Deku, he does just someone gonna hold on to Cindy. As right now, he does let out his emotions. His regret, his fear. He still feels like he might not be himself, but he's being reassured that he is. He's being given this sense of calm, this sense of security. And honestly, he hasn't had that in a long time. He feels safer. And instead of going out for another swing, Deku is going to stay with Cindy. However, they arrived, and they were hoping to talk to the spider of this reality. Now, we do currently have about 1 week later. Deku and, well, Silk, these two, they've continued on with their regular own routines. And right now, Julia, she came back to the house. She wanted to talk to Izuku about what he might have done. I mean, his decision. She knows that he's developed something. And trying to find Kane, that's definitely an objective. However, whenever she has to knock on the door, she doesn't get an answer. And whenever she has to actually bring her hand out, she has to actually try the doorknob. Locked. Okay. Her gonna turn, walking back over, and actually gonna look down. Her finding a rock, picking it up, and going to open it up, pulling out a spare key, and actually going to walk over and unlock the door. Her putting the key back inside, closing it, and I'm going to turn. Her going to chuck down the rock as she's going to head inside. Now, Julia, she headed inside to try and find Deku, and currently she's going to check Deku's room. There's nothing, and then she's going to turn. Her walking to the living room. Nothing, shh. Shh. Her hearing a sound. Before she finally does go look up. What the hell? Oh, uh, hey. Hi. Who is that? Okay, so funny story. This being where they do get a knock on the door. And Deku, him and all these two do get a turn. As right now, Julia, she has to turn and look at Deku. The two going to get off of the ceiling, as Julia does at least make note that this girl has spider powers. And that definitely was a bit more surprising. However, what's more surprising is when she's going to walk over and open the door. And right now, Juliet is going to see. Huh? Hi. So, you're. You look a lot like him. Huh? Izuku? Yeah? There's someone at the door to see you. Who is it? Just come here. Now, Deku is gonna walk over. And over he actually is gonna pull open the door slightly. He actually has stared directly at Toga. As she's in a white jacket, and I'm gonna close it. And Toga is gonna stand there. Her a bit more surprised. Huh. So they must have started falling out in this dimension. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we're heading into Spider-Verse. This is going to be a train wreck for me to try and research. Anyway, guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed.